My name's John Rubin, and we're here at Conflict Kitchen. I run the project with Dawn Molesky, who's the co-director, and Robert Sayre, who's the head chef. Conflict Kitchen is a restaurant that only sells food from countries the United States is in conflict with. The main goal and idea behind Conflict Kitchen is to introduce Pittsburghers, our customers, to countries that they might only know about through the lens of the media or through governmental policy. What we wanted to do was actually get underneath that narrative and present a much more nuanced introduction to a culture that isn't just based on dynamics of political conflict, but are based on, people. Obviously, food is a great way to bypass ideology, intellect, get straight to people's gut. What inspired the whole idea to happen was I was actually running a different project in East Liberty called the Waffle Shop. It came out of a class that I taught in the School of Art at Carnegie Mellon. And it was a restaurant that had a live talk show that the customers could be on. And I quickly recognized how food created this sort of comfort for people to do things that they weren't necessarily normally comfortable doing. We had a kitchen at the Waffle Shop that had its own storefront. Dawn and I decided, let's use this for a takeout restaurant. Okay, so we've got this opportunity to open a takeout restaurant in Pittsburgh. What would it be? There's not a lot of cultural diversity publicly acknowledged and presented. Let's look at the history of our city in relationship to geopolitics. We'll open a restaurant that only sells food from countries that the U.S. is in conflict with, which is automatically going to make us sell food that's never been on the Pittsburgh landscape. Never had a Persian restaurant, Afghan restaurant, Venezuelan restaurant. So right there, we're adding diversity to the city. Right off the bat, we also thought, the food will be the introduction, the seduction to get people involved. And then, we'll do programming, events, performances, other actions to kind of further the engagement. Well, for our last Iranian version, we asked Iranians all over the world submit part of a speech they would like to hear Barack Obama give. So it was an opportunity to share the voices of different Iranians and sometimes very contradictory opinions via the body of our American president.
Let me tell you, citizens of Iran, that politics are like the kubede kebab that I know many of you love.
We did a live Skype meal with Iran in Pittsburgh, where we all cooked the same Persian recipes, had a kind of international dinner party. We put on Pittsburgh's first public Persian cultural festival. I mean, the great thing about being here in Chenley Plaza is we could put on an event at noon, and there's already 300 people out. And that's really one of our goals. We don't just want the cognoscentes, the people who are already going to show up, to an event if we did it anywhere. We want people who might never think about Iran or Afghanistan or think about going to an event that focuses on that to stumble upon it within the stream of their life. I live in Pittsburgh, and I see this project as an opportunity to make the city more of what I want it to be. So rather than waiting for others to kind of create the conditions I'd like to live in, Dawn and myself and Robert have decided to create it ourselves. So additionally, Pittsburgh, I don't know if this project could have started in New York or San Francisco just because of economics. Our first storefront, we were paying about $500 a month in rent. Which is incredibly cheap. So economically, we were able to experiment, try something out, fail. We didn't need to make a tremendous amount of money. We didn't need to put a tremendous amount of capital into it. And there's something to be said for that. This is a great place to experiment.